In this video, I'm going to show how to do simple as well as nested if statements or logical if statements within Excel. Let's start with doing a simple if statement, okay? Now, with if statements, there is few arguments that we need to pass to the logical test that we're testing against. Let me actually, just name this column as a simple if. And I'm going to name this column as nested if as well, okay? Now, with simple if, what I'm going to do, this is my logic. This is the logic I'm going to use. What I'm going to say is, well, any value that's above 50, okay, I'm going to display a message called profit. Otherwise, it's no profit. Very simple if statements, only 3 arguments. And the way to do this, we're going to, again, it's a formula, right? We're going to click on this cell because I want the results to be displayed here. I'm going to go up to the address bar or to the formula bar. Always start with an equal sign, right? Because we're doing a formula with Excel. We learned that anytime we do a formula, we have to start with an equal sign. And there's a built-in function within Excel called if. As soon as you type it, the list will show up. So that's if. And if you see here, okay, within the if statement within Excel, Excel is telling you, well, I'm expecting 3 arguments or 3 values to be passed within this formula. The first one is the test or the logic test that you're trying to test against. In this case, we're trying to test against the total column. And then what value you want to display if your test is true, and what value you want to display if your test is false. So what we're going to say is, if this value is greater than 50, okay, comma, it has to be a comma because that's what Excel is telling you. Once you're done with the first value, okay, you have to pass a comma so to pass in the second value. So if the first test is greater than 50, what you want to display if the value is true, I'm going to tell it, well, I want to display profit. Okay, it has to be inside double quotations because you are actually displaying a text or a string. So it has to be wrapped inside a double quotation. So I'm done with the second value to have a comma to tell Excel, hey, I'm ready to pass a third value. So if it's not greater than 50, I want to go ahead and display that's no profit. Then, of course, you're going to need to close that formula and press enter. Oops, I'm sorry, I missed double quotation right there. I think Excel fixed it for me. So you need to close it with a double quotation right there, okay? So here, whoops, no profit, right? So again, if this value, which is D4, I'm sorry, D5, if it's greater than 50, that's my logical test. If it's greater than 50, I'm going to go ahead and display profit, otherwise no profit. Of course, you know how to, let's go ahead and use the fill handle to copy this formula to all the rest of these cells. And you can always test it. Anything that's less than 50 now will display, or 50 or less, let's say, will display no profit. And we only have, I think, one value that's greater than 50. Of course, if you want to make it as greater than or equal, you can, equal, you can as well. Press enter here, so that way you get that 50 as a profit as well. Okay. Now, there's another way of doing it. If you don't want to write the formula, okay, let me actually delete this. Okay. There is also another great built-in function or feature within Excel. If you go under the formula tab, under let's just move this out of my way, under so under the function library, there is a logical tab. If you click on it, there's an if statement in here. Okay, this is so useful. The logical test I'm trying to test against is actually this value in here. I want to say if D5 is greater or equal to 50, the true value is just display profit. You don't need to even provide the double quotation. Excel will auto-complete this for you. Otherwise, no profit. Okay, just make sure that you click away from this one so you let Excel add the double quotation for you. You click OK and use the fill handle to copy the formula, and it will apply that function to you. It's a very simple f, and the reason why I say it's simple, because we're only using 3 arguments in this case. Okay. Now, let's see how nested if work. And when I say nested if statements, on the false type, on the false portion, we're actually providing another if statement. So what I want to say here is, if the value of this one, again, if it's greater than 50, if it's more than 50, I'm going to display the message called high, or like high profit, okay? If it's greater than 40, I'm going to display medium. If it's greater than 30, I'm going to display low, otherwise fail. See, we have so many arguments that we're passing in a single if statement. But because we have so many testing or logic tests within that single statement, that's why we call it as nested statement. Let's see how that's going to work. So it's a formula. So we're also going to start with the equal sign, right? F, that's the F statement or if statement, okay? We're going to open this. Again, my logic test in this case is the same, which is D5. So if this guy is greater than 50, really easy, comma, I'm going to take the second argument there, the second value. I'm going to go ahead and display the value of, or the message high. Make sure you close that quotation. Now, what if it's not greater than 50? Well, the false here is, I want to provide another if statement. Well, it's not greater than 50. I want to provide another logical test. That's the beauty of having that nested if statement. I'm going to say, okay, well, if this value, again, it's greater than 40, okay, I'm going to display the message medium. Close that quotation. So the true, if it's greater than 40, I'm going to display medium. The false, well, it's not greater than 40 if, see how many if statements we have in the same formula? If this value, again, is greater than 30, okay, I'm going to display the message called low. The true is low, okay, because if it does satisfy this test, I'm going to display low, okay? Otherwise, if none of these conditions match, so it means that it's actually below 30, I'm going to display the message fail. Okay? And then, of course, because we have 1, 2, 3 brackets or parentheses open, we need to close all at the end. 1, 2, 3. So this guy, he's at the fail because he's not greater than 50, it's not greater than 40, it's not greater than 30, it's fail. Let me actually copy this formula all the way to here. Look what happens. So that's 27, that's still failing. 44, that's medium because it's greater than 40. Wow, it's doing it right. 50, it goes medium because it's greater than 40 and still less than 50, unless you guys want to provide the equal sign here, you know, to get this as a high, you can as well. I have a typo in here. It should be high, not high T, whatever that is, okay? But again, you know what I mean here. This is greater than 40, so it's taking the medium. It's low here because that's greater than 30, okay? Hopefully that's helpful, and thank you so much for watching.